it's a TKO. You lost.
Yeah.
That is just the way it is. And I do believe that if you go back and you watch, it was one of the checks, because if you watch when Conor takes a step before he does the buckle, you'll see his lower leg ankle buckle. Yep. It'll have that little, and then he takes the step back and then it folds. So it was in the process. Something happened during that fight on one of the kicks with a check or something. It cracked it. It fractured it. And then just the weight and the pressure on it made it break. And then when he took that final step, you could see it just folded over. But just before it, you can see that there was a problem and it actually broke before he actually took that step, and it looked really bad.
Yeah, we're here in the Thick Boy studio, so if it's a little noisy, you guys got to just bear with it, buddy. People are here hanging out, just talking the fights and everything that happened. It was crazy, but the reality is that this comes from inactivity. And that's really what I feel like it comes from. The building up of the calcification over the time of kicking the bag, of kicking partners, training partners, all the checking of the kicks, all those things. That comes with time and training. That's why Brendan and I were talking earlier tonight with Cody Garbrandt, and we were talking about how the fact that you get into your camps 10 weeks out. Doesn't mean you train hard for the first 4 weeks, but you get in there 10 weeks so you get your body used to taking that abuse.
You are forming a callus.
Yes.
Yep. I agree.
And so that's exactly, I think, and remember when we talked about this last week, I said, it really just comes down to the fact that his inactivity has really changed how he fights. Yeah. He can't take the punishment that he used to. It takes years to develop that. He's been away for years. Well, it goes away. It's no different than when a fighter goes, hey, it took me 10 weeks to get in fight shape. But guess what? The night of my fight, I went out drinking. The next day I ate ice cream, and then I ate fast food. And then on by Monday, you don't even look like the same fighter, because it doesn't take that long to get out of that shape. What do you think's going to happen if you were out for 2.5, 3 years? I don't think he fought since 2016, 2017 was his last fight before the Dustin fight, right?
No.
So before Dustin.
No. He's got a lot. He's got a lot of fights.
When did he fight Khabib?
He fought Khabib. Oh my God.
2018?
2018, yeah. October
2018. Okay, sorry. So. I was way off. So 2018. But my point is that the inactivity of that is what created this type of thing. Is because your body, your bones, they calcify over time.
They get stronger, they get thicker.
Yep.
All of it.
And so I think there's a lot, like I've talked to guys like Kyle Kingsbury. The reason why he does so many farmer walks, with the carries the heavy kettlebells, or he runs with a weight vest on, or he walks with a weight vest on, does stairs, is because it helps make your bones a little bit more dense. Yeah, for the density of the bones. This is what he lacked. And you see that, when people get older, you start to see that. They say that the bones become a little bit more brittle.
Watch it.
Anderson Silva, I know we've already seen your ribs are gone. They're quick. It's real easy. You fell from like 2 feet, and all of a sudden now 6 ribs are broken. I get it. Okay, but that's really what it comes down to, is that it's the inactivity. I'm not saying that he would have won the fight. I'm not even going to even go there.
Come on.
Maybe he wasn't looking good. No. But he was looking good on the feet. It's just a matter of he couldn't stop the takedown.
Was he looking good on the feet? He did good in the first. Hold on. He did really good in the first 45 seconds to 1 minute.
Which he normally does anyways.
That's his time. That's Conor's blitz, man, to go. And he was landing the calf kick on Dustin. He did some good things, but he also got stung too. He stung Dustin on one of those shots, but Dustin stung him back. You saw him get hurt. And we talk about it all the time as far as being in grappling or in fighting. We talk about tough skin and soft skin. And when you're away from, the gym, and you're away from the grappling, all of a sudden you just grapple and guys are just rubbing on you, and all of a sudden you got these giant lines and bruises across your face, and your skin went from being tough skin, where it doesn't mark when you're getting hit, to being it marks when it gets touched. Yeah. And I honestly think that it's just that it's the months of inactivity that Conor is doing, where he's not in the gym. He's working out, but he's not in the gym getting into pads and hitting heavy bags and having people bump into him and having people spar with him and kick and all those things. And it's just having a difference in his ability to actually accept some of that damage. And it's also, hey, maybe it's that, that little bit is a little bit off, and, it's just not quite the same guy.
I get it.
The mystique is gone, as far as he's still a fantastic athlete. He's still a fantastic fighter, But
Yeah.
that level where he had the edge is now gone.
Yep.
And so
Yeah,
now it comes down to
that all comes from the inactivity, though. The
Yeah, I
level that
think
he
you're
had
right.
the edge is years of building up to get to that level. And when you take time away like he did, like he has been doing, it just starts to spiral down. And everyone else is on that level, that hunger level. Dustin Poirier has just been building himself up step by step by step every single day. He's in the gym, whether he's training hard or he's helping his teammates
somebody
train
else.
hard. That's what it is. It comes out. That used to be Conor. That's not Conor anymore. His hands are in too many pots. He's not able to stay in the gym focused. And also, too, even with the Ireland,
But you can't blame him.
He wouldn't. No, I can't blame him. He's worth $400 million. I've told you this. I've questioned every single day why this fucking guy is still fighting.
I know.
Like, why are you fighting? Like, what's the point? You're not going to, like, sure, you're going to make let's just say you make 20 million. You're worth 400 million. What's another 20 million going to do for you? You know what I mean? Like, it gets to that point where I understand where you're headed.
Baby needs a new pair of shoes, baby.
Yeah, I mean, look, I walked through the mall the other day, and I just so happened to stop in Louis Vuitton. I saw a pair of shoes there. They were $1,000.
Are you?
This is. Yeah,
Please.
And they were like, they look like the Reebok, the old school Reebok versions. I was like, what are you doing? Who's buying these, really?
What's the most expensive pair of shoes you've ever bought?
I bought a pair of brand new Air Force Max ones or something like that. They were $200.
Okay. That's the most expensive pair, because I would say cowboy boots are probably the most expensive I've ever bought.
No, I would
But
never buy cowboy
tennis
boots,
shoes,
though.
most expensive, $140.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, it's 200. I bought them actually. The reason why they were cost so much, I bought them like the week they came out. I didn't even know they came out that week. I just walked in the store. I really liked them. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna buy them. I didn't even know what their price was. I didn't know anything of it. I just picked them up, put them up at the counter. It's like, yeah, $210, because they would tax. It was like $180, something like that, like $210. I was like, shit. So whatever. I was already up at the counter. I didn't want to walk away because I was cheap. So I was like, fuck, I suckered myself into it.
Oh, I got to pay for it now.
Yeah, that was a shitty situation.
But I do want to say, hey, you know what? Dustin Poirier went out. He put on a great performance. And I really want to say, you know, what happened at the end of that fight, and I feel bad for Conor with the break, because that was horrible. That shouldn't happen to anybody. And I know the frustration that he had, because I'm sure he felt like he was going to come out in the second round and things were going to be different in the second round for him and stuff, and they might have been. But you got to give Dustin Poirier all the credit in the world. He put up with a lot of stuff. It did not bother him this time. We talked about the head games. I really saw the difference in, it looked to me like Conor was trying to, not so much, he's trying to get it, Dustin. He's trying to believe it himself. He's trying to talk himself into this whole thing. And that's when you get into, I'm going to murder this guy. I'm going to do all this stuff. Fighting isn't about murdering people, man. It's about being smart. Fighting is about being smart. I know people don't understand that when they're thinking, well, what do you mean smart? A smart fighter is a dangerous fighter. A smart fighter, a relaxed fighter, someone that's confident. You put those things together, man, you got someone that's hard to beat, because they're thinking, they have the ability to understand what's happening and how to adjust in a fight. You got to give Dustin Poirier. He even adjusted in that fight. When Conor went after the guillotine, guys, it wasn't close. Okay? Never was he in trouble. You saw right away, when Dustin is moving over the legs, and you're seeing Conor trying to he's got to get those legs around the body to make that thing tight. And he's using the fence as a balance point. All it takes is 3 points of contact to have good balance. And he's up on, and you're looking, Conor, let go of it. You don't have anything.
Yeah.
All of that smart fighting by Dustin.
I disagree for a second. Okay. And I'm not saying I understand what you're talking about. He had it. Had he committed and jumped to it, I thought. I'm not saying he would have finished it, but it would have been. But he hesitated for a second, and that gave Dustin the chance to jump his body over, get fence side, and start walking his legs up the fence to get away from it. And that's really what got away from him.
What you're saying is he had the opportunity of getting
and
it,
it was a really good opportunity.
He let it go by.
He didn't let it go by.
Oh,
he
yes,
second guessed himself.
Whoa,
he second guessed himself.
He hesitated.
And just said, you know what? Yeah, there was a hesitation because he just, like I said, more of the inactivity of not being available to training with the guys that he's been used to training with. Him not doing his camp, SBG and him being around John Kavanaugh and him being around Kiefer Crosby and all those guys, it makes a difference.
I think it
makes
does.
a difference on you have your clique that you train with your whole career, and all of a sudden now you don't have them, and you're flying guys in that are not the level of you, or they are the level of you, but they're catering around you because they don't want to hurt you or whatever it is. But you're not living the lifestyle that you used to live when you were slumming it. It's just different. And like I've said forever, I don't know why the fuck he's still fighting. The guy he's worth $400 million. Let that just ride off into the sunset, my friend. Just go on, do your business deals, move on. Like, I would respect you more if you just bounced right now out of the sport and be like, hey, it just wasn't my night. I'm out of here. I'm going to ride off. I'm going to keep signing these checks and just do what I'm doing. Like, that to me is like, you've done everything. Here's the thing. Every fighter, Dustin Poirier being included, every single fighter needs to thank him for what he's done for the sport.
Absolutely.
Because all those guys are making these millions because he raised that bar.
Yep.
That's the biggest thing. I don't care if you're a Conor fan or not. The reality of the fact is that he got that level of people getting paid higher. And the reason why, and when he got that level there, that means that guys like Dustin, guys like Khabib, guys like they could all now ask for all that money. Because before, Chuck Liddell was not making that kind of money. He was making good money.
Good money.
He was making we had the same manager. He was making great money, but he wasn't making 15, 18, $20 million at the UFC. That's the thing. So when those guys are champions multiple times, Chuck Liddell, you could say, was the face. I would say, like, he was the most someone that was the most.
He represented the company.
Yeah, he represented the company, but he was the most recognizable face, for the longest time in the company. And he still didn't make that kind of money. And so when I think about it, I'm like, these fighters, they got to stop spitting salt at him, and like being upset at the fact that he's got all this play and the way he is. I get the way he is, but it's no different than Chael's, his shtick, and like Colby's shtick. Like this is what gets them notoriety. This is what makes them money with their sponsors. This is what's going to make them more money, for bigger paydays. I'm not mad at him for that. They shouldn't be mad at him. These fighters owe him a little bit of a tip of the hat and saying, hey, thank you, because you guys are all getting paid more money because of him.
I agree.
Am I right or am I wrong?
No, you're absolutely right. I agree with you. He came in and he changed the status quo of what was going on for fighters, and he actually took some control, a control that no other fighter was able to attain, at that level. So you got to give it to him. And every fighter that was able to fight him, they got pulled into that realm where they got paid more for the fight against Conor than they did against anybody else. And
well, that's why Dustin took this fight versus fighting for the title.
Yes, I told you it was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
You thought he should have gone after Oliveira.
Calm down. I thought he should have went after the title, and then Conor would have still chased him to fight for the title anyways. So he would have made double the money. He would have been the champion and still fought Conor. But also, I also feel that Charles or Chandler, whoever would have fought Dustin for the title, was a more dangerous fight than Conor. Okay. So it's kind of a catch-22. Yeah. Fight Conor, which is not saying the easy fight, but you've already fought him twice. You know him a lot better than you know Chandler and you know Oliveira. Yeah. So it's always easier. I feel, you've done it. It's always easier to fight somebody you've already fought twice. You have an understanding of how good they are, how much power they have, how fast they are. You figure out their game. Yep. Yeah, little tendencies.
Yep. I agree.
Overall, I thought it's just unfortunate. I want to, you wish Conor a speedy recovery. I hope he rides off into the sunset and never fights again. If he does come back to fight again, I hope I don't see him fight Dustin. I think the ship sailed. It's done. It's over. Done. Yeah. I think he should be done based off of his leg, the breaking the way it was. If he is to come back, the only fight that I really want to see him fight is Nate Diaz. That's it. I don't want to see him fight anybody else. I want another trilogy fight. That's it. Nate Diaz, big money fight, done deal.
100% agree.